So, a new thing is coming in Ammon House. We're now going to have roller coaster 1.06. So, the rumours are coming for the roller coaster version 1.06. Match, it's called roller coaster 1.05, by the way. But yeah, the rumours are coming in for roller coaster 1.05. We're now going to start planning making the roller coaster thinner now. So, like, an even thinner way. Okay. So, the roller coaster is going to be thinner. Coming in at around 5.8 studs instead of 6.5. I might try and thicken it up a little less. And we'll see how it goes with that roller coaster. Because we're in development. So right now, it's 6.5 studs long. By the way, it is 6.4 studs thick. So we can drop that around to around, like, let's drop that to around a 5.4 stud. So yeah, we're going to drop it to like, so first off of all, let's drop it to like 5.8. But the thickness is between 5.3 to 6 studs thick. We might try and even get it thinner. But 5.8 stud thickness would drop it. But we'll do 5.6 for now. But by the way, I think it was like 6.5, so we might just do a 5.5 stud thin. And we'll see how that goes. 5.5 studs thick now for our new roller coaster. Which is actually a perfect little contraption. So as we can see here, we're going to drop. So yeah, we're calling dropping it. So we're dropping everything now by a single stud down now. And we're already rooting because of how thick we can go. So note, this match should take me just around like 30 minutes to do, but it's my main task. So we're dropping it all the way down to 5.5 studs, which is what the new roller coaster is going to come in with. $5.5 studs. We're all dropping. 5.5. It's like small, thick. Now, however, we're going to have to drop the stud down. 428.222. We're going to drop it all the way down to 427. And because we've now got a new low thickness, the roller coaster, well, I don't know about the roller coaster, but we obviously are going to like do that idea as well, by the way. So we dropped a stud down out of that roller coaster masterpiece. But for my reference, I'm already fixing an issue that traps the roller coaster. So I dropped that to around like I dropped it down to a Roblox character size, so as you can watch, I dropped it down. And I might just do a 0.1 by the way. So yeah, it has been dropped. But unfortunately, we're just seeing a little small issue over there. Oh. So there we go, we have now an exact position now for this roller coaster. And that means no more issues would go by. Plus we are going to put the position down. So we'll do 425 on that. Or 424.9. What should we do 425? Or 424.95. Actually 424.95 will do. Wow, wait, that's even more thinner. So a thinner ride means we have to obviously drop it down. So I'm testing out a sample of a 5.5 stud thick roller coaster. AKA, we're going to call it, group, roller coaster V1, V1.05. We're calling it, by the way. All test sample variants will be saved, and also the roller coasters. Plus stud thickness, it's obviously dropping. I don't even know if that would have been up. That's the up arrow, by the way. It's in an angle where it's up. It's just up an angle. So let's just check. So it seems like that's one thickness over there. Wouldn't do it. I have to either drop the thickness. And around what it was like. Approximately, we've now resized 0.05 studs off that roller coaster. So, as you can see in the thickness, it has been dropped. So we're going to drop the thickness down by a stud now. So we're going to be changing the value to 1. And we're going to drop it to 5.5 studs. However, we have one issue already. So as you can see, I've moved it down to 0.5 stud, 5.5 studs. But however, there is a stud. Well, actually, there is a stud above, like the value. For some reason, the tracks aren't matching with the other roller coaster tracks that it is showing, I think. I don't know if it is or not, but as you can see, it's just around, exactly around, I think, like a point, like something stood away. I might have to drop it down a little bit, I think, to like 1419 or something like that. 1419.3. 1419. I might just do 1418.9. And then what we'll do is we'll drop that from 1419.728 to 1419.6. 14.7. 1419.6. 1419.55. So I'll do 1419.5 on that one. As you can see, there's no air gaps, so yeah, there's no more gaps. So 1419.55, which is 1419.55. It seems like we'll have a small gap. So yeah, there's a really small gap. So yeah, there's a small gap. So let's go back to this again. And we now have to rematch that position, which will take us a little bit of time now. So watch me all match. So watch me all match. Right, I did match it, but it seems like we'll have to move, and then we'll have to do 0.05 on this, and then might have to drop. Right, we have dropped it somewhere. Let's just check. So it's 5.5 stud spin. Which is how thin we're going. By the way. So it's just 25% thin, I think. So we're going to drop from 2725.361 to 2724.361. So 2724.361. Might have to do 2724. So we must have to match that thick texture. So we must have to watch this thick texture. So we need to drop the thickness texture all the way down to 2723.9. 2723.9. Then if it hasn't done it, I'm going to drop it to 2723.8, which is just enough for that rollay. So yeah, it's just a 1.5 that stood for this now, so it obviously now matches, so but this is going to take like 40 minutes, yikes. This is going to take me like 40 minutes to do, but as you can see, I've just dropped it to like 5.5 in it, and I think the rails have obviously need to drop to like 27.25 ourselves. Which was actually a perfect way. And then we're going to have to drop something now. So yeah, we're going to drop from 3898.963 to 3897.963. So 3897.963. And I wonder if this is going to match well if it's been like resized. So we're just going to have to do a 0. So we do a 0.05 increase. So this like takes like so long to do, but as you can see here, let's just check the groove. So yeah, you can see there's like a little bit of grooving on that roller coaster, so we might have to like drop that down to like a point something. We might have to increase it, we don't know. So as you can see here, I might have to drop it. So 3898.132, 3898.125. And there's obviously still a little bit of grooving, so I might have to do 3898.12. Right, that did nothing but I know, I think it's 3898.11. 3898.1. And it seems like we have dropped it. Let's do 3898.11. Oh, 3898. It keeps just spelling the 8. Right, there you go. As you can just see, it's 3898.11. So yeah, it is obviously working better. 3898.105. Yeah, there you go. You can see now. That's more better. So the only issue now is this roller coaster is just like, oh my god, it's 5.1 studs, but for some reason, it's not 6 studs. So you can see it's a 5.1 stud thickness. So as you can see, there's a thickness transition on that roller coaster. Wherever it goes like thin, it just goes like that. And it's probably because the transition angle. So as you can see, it's 5.1 studs thin. And it's 5.1 studs thin here as well. So the only issue goes to this finger thing, which is the issue of that roller coaster. We can increase the studs by just doing a 1-2 inside, so a 3898.4. Then we'll check how thin it goes. So we need to have 5.5 studs thin on all sides. So I'll have to do that one drop. So you see it's 5.5 studs thin. So yeah, it's just 5.5 studs thin now, which is more better than I like it. Because it then allows the roller coaster to go. But no, this is just a test sample, so by the way, as you can see, it's just test only, so it's just the roller coaster's only gonna be a test, so yeah, it's just in beta this version, so for now until I get it fixed. Because there's like a new development coming out with the roller coaster. As you can see, there is actually a clear issue over there. There is actually a thickness. Let's just check the thickness points together. So both minus 135.3, by the way, so. As you can see, those like chipping ones, you just have to like resize them, so. So like that little redesign I'm doing. So just need them to match. So 2044.4, 2444.4. And then we're going to have to match that up like that. So 1934.8, 1934.9. So if it's 1934.9, just increase that to 1934.9 as well. Yeah. And as you can see, there's just like a little basic, like a few studs over there. So there's another issue that says like a little issue that I might have seen right over there. Is what you see. I know why the roller coaster's doing this glitch, but it's all we have to do is drop the size down or something like that. I've literally selected this. So I've did drop, so yeah, it is now dropped to the right position. So nothing won't go through. So yeah, it isn't getting impaled. But first of all, before it gets impaled by something, just need to reduce, or math, reduce. So yeah, it's still there. Then I have to move it, and then it's still not there. So it's just around a clear, like, there's still like a clear, like, how thin you go, it's just how thin you get. So I'm just like testing to see how thin you can get, by the way. So yeah, it's now like thin enough now for that roller coaster. And obviously, I'm just saving the 1.07 as a test sample, just in case we can like put it like more thinner. So it's 10 minutes in now, so I think we're 10 minutes in. No, we're actually 26 minutes in, by the way, somehow. Oh, that's really fast. The time went so quick. It's because I'm doing that roller coaster. It's just literally making it speed up. 47. So we need to drop that by 4728.938. So 4728.938. And if we can see, if it isn't the right way, we have to do 47. So we have to bump it up a little bit if it's not the right way, not the right position, aka like the right way. 4729.2. And I have to do 4729.15. Oof. So as you can see, I've now dropped it, which means I now have to drop both the sizes down for the 6.1. So 6.1 is going to be dropped to something like 5.5 now. So as you can see, if it's not 5.5 or something like that. So it is 5.5 now, but it's 5.49 studs thin, by the way, if you might know. So as you can see, it is just a 5.49 stud thick piece now. $18.95.7 is what we have to drop it to. And do you see that now? Like, the issue has just been, like, repaired. 1892, 2042. So, we're just going to drop the roof down. So, as you can see, it's now, like, more thin. So, it's thinner, but we're going to have to drop. So, we have to drop it to the nearest. So, oops. It's like, I don't know why, but 4729.242. It has stars inside, so it has to be 4729.2. And if we see like a small, like, if you see like a... So as you can see, I think there's like a small, like... It didn't undo so, by the way, so... We have to do 4729.18 here, so... And then we'll have to do 4729.17. 4729.15. There you go. That's like more better now. So we can now see that this issue is getting fixed. But we now have to do it on 4 more 45-degree angle roller coasters, and then we'll have to do abyss ones as well. So it is now 57988.134. However, the size of that is 6.5, so we're gonna have to drop that by like a stud. So 30. So if you remember, that's 5788.134. We now have to drop that to 57. So 5788. Well, not 5738, but 5787.134. That's more thinner, but we now have an issue. Again, we have to resize this thing. So resizing it, and then we're gonna have to now recorrect this thing. So to no avail, we just have to look for like highlights. So we're highlighting and highlighting. Basically, we're like highlighting the size and all that lot. And it seems like we have highlighted the size, by the way. So as you can see, I've just highlighted the size, but it's actually like 5.46 studs thin for some reason. So if we want it like more thinner, we're gonna have to transition angles and all that lot if you want to make it thinner. But for now, it has to be like this. So hypothetically, we now have to like drop. So we're dropping, so aka dropping the size down. So like we're going to now drop those to like 5.5 on that on both, and we'll see what that does. So if he's focused right over there at 6.5 studs, we're going to drop it to 5.5. But however, there's like a small gap, so we're now going to have to drop it until it reaches the perfect position. So you know the perfect position, we now have to drop this from 5787.519 to 57 to whatever it goes to. 5787.552. Oh, I don't know if this is going down. So 5787. Wow, it's like 5785. Yeah, it's going down. So you can see there. 5787. Do it on itself. But as you can see, it has been thickened, so we made it more thinner. So as you can see, we just now need to do a 1.61 stud decrease. So as you can see, we're going to have to drop that. So if I bring my calculator out, the next target is, so we're at 7098.292. Then we're going to take away 1.6 studs off of it. Then we're going to have to drop it to 7096.692. So we do 7096.692. But as you can see here, we just need to look for like how thin it goes. So as you can see, we're going to have to do a little small increase. So 7096.3. Well, it isn't that, but it's 7096.7. 7096.7. As you can see here. And we're just about like, we're like around, as you can see here. We're around like you can see here, We just need to increase it again. 7096.72. And yep, there we go. So yeah, we're now in the right position now for that roller coaster to go the exact way as possible. So as you can see, it's now dropping. So we can drop whatever it goes to the roller coaster like bunch of times. So as you can see, we have to drop that by around like 1.56 studs. So it's 5.5 studs now, as you can see here. But this is a way perfect redesign. A 1 stud fin, and it's better for the ride itself. So as you can see, we might have to drop that by like 1.59 studs. So 8408.592 minus 1.58. It equals to 8407.012. So we're going to have to drop that to 8407 .592. Something like that. No, it's not that. It's .012, so as you can see here, I think that was a perfect estimate. You can just tell which is highlighting. But that was a really perfect estimate. So we're going to drop the rings, or literally like, well, drop the rings down at this rate, and then we'll drop the studs down to like 5 or something like that. 5.5. Plus, it's also going to get a redesign with the new reels, with new rails. So the rails are now going to be like... So we need to make the reels the thinnest possible by dropping. So we might drop the thickness of rails as well with the new roller coaster. So as you can see, we can only tell if that is the case. So we're right now dropped to around... So this might be perfect enough, as you can see here. So we do drop it like... So we have dropped it to like... So we're going to drop it to like the lowest possible, so then you don't notice it. Which one was that? Let's just check. So it's 0.65 by the way, so 0.65. And that actually will be the best perfect drop in Lemon House history. Including its own redesign. Oh yeah, we now have a new issue. So as you can see here, we now need to make the tracks like 0.2 studs thinner. So as you can see here, there's a small little gap where the roller coaster would slow down, especially if it goes. We just have to increase it to... So we see 8405.017. We're going to have to increase it from 8405.017 to like 8405.217. And maybe I have to do 8405.117. Maybe we'll do 8405.057. But as you can see here, it's still... So 8405.047. And we're gonna have to do a 0.07 drop, so 8407.4. I don't know if that was right, but 8404. Don't know if that was right, but right after 8405.047, 8405.04. Right, we have dropped it down now, so you can see it's like a minimal. So 8405.041. Maybe do 042. And there we go. That might be a perfect size now. No more issues related to that now. So as you can see, I'm have to now drop. So 9630, 96. So let's do 9630 and that one again. And as you can see, it is dropped. So 9629.9. 9629.9. Let's do that again. Yep, still there. 9629.5. I don't know if that was like right, but 9629.97. 96. Right. So we're about like. So yeah, we're about like. So as you can see here, we're around like. So 9629.97. I might have to do 9629.971. Just to do a minimal increase. But now we have to drop, so yeah, we're dropping. So as you can see, we need a 1.58 stud decrease. So approximately, we have to calculate 9633.195, take away 1.6, well, not 1.63, but 1.58, and we'll get like 9631.615. So if I paste that, then paste though, I think that's because we have a comma on the 9, which isn't allowing it at all. And then we'll drop, so we'll drop it. So as you can see here, there's like a little bit 9631.6. Now I have to do 9631.59 to see an actual drop. There we go, that's actually a good drop. So actually a good drop was a great idea because it now represents the roller coaster by itself. So we're gonna drop from the 6.5 to all the way down to 5.5. So we'll do 5.5 on that guy as well. By the way, with the roller coasters by themselves, hypothetically. So it's 5.5 studs. And now we'll drop that to 5.5 studs. Now do you see that? It's now more thinner. Then I think this might be the final one over there. According to us. So we might have to take away that like. So we're now doing a 10.858.161. Yeah, I just forgot to turn on my microphone, guys, but 5.5. 5.5, so I forgot to turn on the microphone again for like 4 minutes, bro. So, as you can see, it's dropped to 10856.55. But then when I have to drop that again to like another like 1.57 studs again. So, as you can see, I need to do that again, so 12,169.222 minus, yeah. And then we'll take away 1.57. We get that value, copy it, and then paste it without the comma. And there we go. Well, actually, it's like more thinner, but by the way, this is like taking me like an hour to do, which is really weird because I have got that time for this, but we're dropping whatever is on there. So it's a 5.5 stud thin roller coaster. So it's 5.5 studs now, by the way, which is more thinner. And by the way, I'm going to save this build again, so I'm going to save it again, just for a backup. Roller coaster. So we're going to call it roller coaster 1.05. But I just called it roller coaster 1.05, by the way, which is actually like my wrong name. So let's test that new thicker coaster that I've made now. How many issues are we going to see? That's a good sign. It's far thinner. But does this mean we can now ride on this more efficient? So let's see how good it's going to transition when it gets there. No issue. No issue. And there is an issue. So as you can see here, for some reason, as you can see here, the roller coaster was way thin, but also because because I tried transitioning it from like an angle, the car did not go, and this was because the angles or position, by the way. So that was unfortunate, but I'm going to reload that same build. So it's called V1.05. But as you can see here, we've got a new issue. It's now because of the angles of where the roller coaster goes. And it's because it's way too thin to transition to the angle where it is supposed to go, by the way. So we now have to drop the thickness, maybe either like do the thickness drop like drag select or something like that. So we're going to highlight on 4 of these. So we're going to highlight this, highlight this, highlight this, and also highlight this. However, I did select it as that group, so it's now at a minus 25 degree angle. Now our target now is to drop it to around like, do like a drop angle. So we'll do a 1 degree angle drop, and then we'll do 20. And by the way, if it's 20, I'm resizing it. So as you can see, it has to transition. So you know what transitioning is. We have to transition where the roller coaster is supposed to go now, by the way. Which means it's a rough estimate of how far it goes. So it's now a 10-degree angle, which means it seems more thicker than what the roller coaster says now. And because I made it more thinner, the ride is obviously more better. So yeah, it's now even thicker because the cars can now go easily. And maybe this transition would obviously will boost this thing. I don't know about the size or position for this thing, but I'll check. So as you can see, it's 1479 studs long. So it's free. Feel free to how long you can put it to now. So let's just do that thing now. So it's absolutely dropped down to like a good position. So we're now going to drop the size down of that roller coaster to around like that stud, but then all we have to do now is lower it. So lower the roller coaster. Until it goes thin. So we're going to drop it to like that. Then we'll see how far it goes when I drop it. So it's at 1702.75, which is a great drop. But then we're going to have to match the positions. So 1834.55. So we're just trying to roughly estimate the size of the roller coaster. Now let's save it. So watch me just save the entire build. We're going to call it that same build again. So it's the exact same one. But this time it's saved group, please. So we don't have to do it again. And now let's test it. And we'll see how good it is. Wherever it goes. Plus it's now ultra thin, so we can now see it's more better. Even more thinner means it's actually gonna go. So let's just check. Oh, we actually hit it. So we actually hit there, so for some reason. Which was because it hit. But let's see if it's gonna stop. Oof. So I just forgot again that so as you can see, I just forgot once again. Which was yikes, but as you can see, it should allow that size to be really, really perfect. And yeah, it should be a perfect. It's absolutely perfect. It's perfect to the finest point now that this roller coaster will go. Plus with all the issues fixed. So I'm going to resave this exact same build again. I'm going to be calling it that roller coaster V1.05, I repeat, because we might have to do the same thing again. So it's 5 cars still. And plus it's now even thinner. So thinner means it's now able to go better. So let's test it again and we'll see if all the cars will go better. Oh my god, it's actually going even better now. So it's far better, more thinner, which means minimum speed. So it is going just fine. I might have to reload that same build again, but roller coaster V1.05. So plus it's now even more thinner, which means the ride is obviously going to be better. Even better due to the fact that all along with the issues fixed. But now we're going to have to thicken the size of the roller coaster car. Maybe actually that thing, so not that, but we're going to do a 0.5 on that. Well, 0.1 on that. And we'll have to see if this is the best ride in Admin House history. So it's 5.45 studs, which is actually great. And it's even thinner, which allows the ride to even be better due to the fact that we won't see any bugs on it. Yikes, no bugs on a roller coaster is insane for its build. Oof. So it's 2047.75. So all the rails are like 2047.75. So we're doing 5.5 studs fin on everything, even including the roller coaster itself. So let's just match the height. So it's 12.823.852, 12.823.9, 12.823.852, 12.823.9, 12.823.852. Let's just do 12.823.852. So now this ride is even thinner, which allows the roller coasters to be even better. Also resaving the spill, by the way. Overwrite, so overwriting everything again. Save it in groups, so groups. If you want to make roller coaster thinner, so the thickness is even thinner, so we might have to drop, so minus 512.513. So we might have to calculate again for my reference. So 512, so it is just minus, by the way, so it's minus 5. It's obviously not, I don't know if it's going to do minus, but 512.158 minus 1.6, 1.1, I think. We'll do minus 1. Let's do minus 513.158 minus 513.158. And then we'll drop, so we'll drop the size down, so 6.5 for now, but we're going to drop it to 5.5, so 5.5 studs on all. So all of them is now 5.5 studs, so that means it's even thinner, even with the roller coaster redesign. And again, we're going to do it again, minus 1535.783. So that was a great drop. Let's just drop the size down already to allow it to fit. So we're going to do a 5.5 stud fin thickness. Even thinner. We're going even thinner. We're going even thicker. And we're even going even better. So, just do a retro, so wait now. 5. 5.5 studs is obviously which allows all of them to be right, there we go. I don't know if it was that. There we go. Should see like stud like drop down. So it's 5.5 studs now. That's even more thinner. But as you can see, we're clearing the pathway for the coasties to go. A more thinner passage needs a better redesign. So it's 5.5 studs. So drop the thickness of these ending points of the roller coaster. And now we'll save build. So we'll save build again. But then we're going to call it roller coaster v1.07. v1.05. So roller coaster v1.05. And then we'll test. So let's test this build out for ourselves. And also plus, it's now even thinner. And that means it's allowed to go even better due to the fact that now the cars have dropped size. Oh my god. Are we getting impaled by something, bro? No way. No, this is impaled bug, bro. Oh my god, this is buggy. Do a small fix. Let's do a little small fix. Roller coaster. So roller coaster. Watch me drop it. So drop. AKA drop in size again. Just to ensure thinness is getting fixed. Then we'll resave it. So resaving it again. Roller coaster. So roller coaster 1.05. Somehow. So I just saw that issue. The roller coaster's gone back now for some reason. Which is obviously the main issue.
I'm going anyway. I'm going.
We'll just test it with all the other wides and we'll see if this would go. some reason we have to stop somewhere. I think these thin designs are stopping this roller coaster from going around because for some reason it has prevented it from going again because it keeps impaling on like a character, and when you jump off, the character tells you what I'm doing. I don't know why it's not doing the falling animation because it's hold on to something. It's not funny, but holy crap. I don't think thin redesigns aren't doing well. So, the thin redesign ain't doing anything. Somehow we're getting impaled over a roller coaster. Plus, we might just see some issues as well. So, plus when it goes through that slow slope, the roller coaster would either stop somehow. You literally get impaled at the end now, at that point. But at this point, we've just found another issue that might affect the roller coaster again. So you see after small resize, it's obviously not do it issue. So we obviously now have to resize this thing again and again and again and again. So now as you can see they now both match. So that was really perfect. But now I repeat again, I'm going to save this build again and we're just going to see if this will be now our first fix. So you just note you need a backup all the time, so that's Roller Coaster V1.05. It's being redeveloped all the time now. And plus now it's even thinner around like, so it's now even thicker because now, as you can see here, the roller coaster is now thinner. Thinner means we're even going like better. And we got impaled again. I don't know why this issue keeps going, but it's because we're either hitting that part that prevents the roller coaster from going for some reason. Like, I could literally get impaled over that build. And guys, it's a known issue. It's not fixed, by the way. It's probably because I'm gonna have to do it again. So I'm just gonna reload that same exact build. Plus fix that other issue over there, so stuff that interrupts the ride, I'm resaving it. So as you can see here, I think that 0.3 stud thick thing obviously is dropping it, so all we just keep doing is just resizing until it gets near perfect. But now, because it's near perfect, I could really resave it again. So let's see if that is a fix now, if I resave that build. So rollercoaster v1.05. And then we'll teleport to admin house, and then we're going to go back into the rollercoaster thing again. Oh my god, somehow she got it stuck. Somehow managed to get it stuck, but it's no real issue to get fixed, but all I have to do is like move it. Roller coaster is now even better. So let's test it. Let's see if we're gonna get impaled anymore now. And yeah, I think there's a new issue that's going around. For some reason, I found out that this roller coaster car keeps stopping or getting impaled. This is just a known issue, so I might either lower the size of those tracks to make it so then it doesn't do the issue. Because the issue only seems that this roller coaster bounces wherever it goes. Which seems to be an alright issue, by the way. Or a possibility issue. That would make the roller coaster randomly stop. But this issue only happens 40% of the time. Maybe like 50% chance it does this issue. And it's due to a new fin design that the roller coaster will obviously go. Which is a known issue. It doesn't do it on like 20-degree angles because I think 20-degree angles impale. And as you can see here, it just happened again. So it's the same thing happening over and over again. So yeah, as you can see here, it's just pinpointing the issue now. So as you can see, might have just dropped that a little bit, but somehow we're getting a bug or point issue or pinpoint issue where the roller coaster obviously would have crashed or impaled wherever it goes to. And by the way, it is not called the bug. There are other bugs implementing this, so I think this is obviously a bug. Because whenever it hits something, it stops it from going. I can't just add a fake stopper because I think it's obviously because the angles. or the chances, because Roblox physics breaks over time. And yeah, it's the Roblox physics. The Roblox physics has issues. So I'm just seeing like a small little issue that's happening again, but with the roller coaster. But that's probably because there's another issue again. So Roller Coaster V's version 1.05. So I've had to resave it again. But I think that small issue happens when the roller coaster's physics get inversed. Which means the roller coaster will hit whatever is going by itself to prevent whatever is going here. And that is usually the issue. But however, when you exit... I don't know if this acts like a safety mechanism, but... I don't think this bug can also be fixed as well, by the way. It happens when you're on the roller coaster. And its chances are because the physics are like... So the physics... Again, it stopped... It slowed, so... It either slows whenever it gets there, or it stops at a slow rate where the roller coaster wouldn't get going. But guys, it's just a bug. I don't know what I could do with this bug, but it's obviously because the ride has another safety mechanism that slows it down. It either slows down or stops at this rate. No clipping or penetrating through the walls ain't the issue, but... This is either because we have an issue again, or another impaler, so... We're just gonna call it as backup, so... We're just gonna be calling it 1.05 again, but the same, but with different name. And then let's just teleport to Admin House and we'll press the button to see. So yeah, still 5 cars. Let's see what thinner redesign would do. I saw I just put a space in the name, so I have to reload it manually, bro. So it's roller coaster 1.05. I tried looking for roller and it didn't come up with that same technique before, but so we just have to go on tools again, and then we're gonna have to change the vehicle seat properties to make it so it's more faster whenever it goes. So more fast means it's more better. So we're just looking for a vehicle seat editor. So we're gonna look for edit vehicle seat. So we're gonna keep editing this vehicle seat like until it gets there. So as you can see, just need it highlighting red. So we're gonna increase the torque speed from 75 to 110. So we're gonna have to do it on all 5 of the cars, which will take like approximately 5 minutes to do. I think, if I can get it done in time. However, the max speed it goes is 161. If it wasn't the terminal velocity, in most cases. There's no throttle, however, which means higher the torque means faster it goes, so we have to now make the ride faster, which then the roller coaster will generate the speed from. Which means more speed, faster the ride. Gonna resave the example of roller coaster by doing roller coaster v1.05. Because I accidentally put a space on my save build, which then won't work. And let's check where it goes to. I don't know what the hell happened here. But as soon as I ran on that, I don't think this is a tongue of an apple logo. This is literally weird mechanism. I don't even know how that was possible. I don't even know how that got there. I don't know what happened here. It somehow managed to get stuck. Like a roundabout for some reason. I don't know how that was possible. I don't know if this was possible, but I don't even know how it managed to glitch through the map. It somehow managed to get stuck under the rails. which is literally really, really weird. And it got stuck again. It's still not going. But then when you jump off, it acts like a freaking safety mechanism. You jump off, it would invert yourself. Oh my god, bro. How is this bug possible? No one ever fixed it, by the way. I don't even know if that was, like, weird. But anyways, let's also resize those railings, by the way. Because it's always the railings that are more thinner. So let's go even thick. Let's drop it all the way down to like perfect as it goes. So 0.8 by the way. But also, we might do 0.3. So the roller coaster will have its new redesign. So now it's ideally matched to whatever the roller coaster goes to now. Which is in a better development of what I was making. Holy yeah, we're dropping that. Let's drop it to 0.3. And then we'll do that as well with the dropping. And also for some reason I might have to also drop that as well. Drop size on the roof. Point 0.1 won't be that do, but let's just move it. I don't know if these metal sizing fixes will fix this roller coaster. But it's doing this trick the best way. Well, no, this is gonna take like another like 30 or so minutes to do, but whilst I apply these thicknesses on all the roller coasters. Because these are going to take like a really long time to do. To apply something. So it's going to be like a really long time to apply these now, so... It takes like another 40 minutes or so to do, but... We're just gonna drop the size down like any other roller coaster out there, bro. If I know if this exactly matches with this roller coaster, then it should go. Because that is an absolute major redesign for this roller coaster. .3. Oof. 0.3 studs. So that's 0.3 studs to this now, so that's a little smaller, but then we also drop that to 9.5. And plus, we have to look on these sizes. Oof. Drop the size. So this is gonna take me like another hour to do, but it just is the reason. And this is gonna be like a major version, by the way. On this development. Drop in, drop in, drop in, drop in, drop in, drop in. So if it's thinner, next one's a tunnel, by the way, so I'm reporting while I'm dropping it. Oof, I drop. 8.95 is a drop. Now that's 9, so that's actually dropping really, really well. The roller coaster. Wait for that. Let's just. let's just drop. This is like taking me like a few hours to do because oh. So everything has now been dropped again, so I'm gonna be saving it as a backup, so I'm gonna do it as backup version again, but no spaces. So it's stuck for some reason. But this took me like an hour, like 30 minutes or so. Sometimes I keep doing this. Because I have to fly on. Yeah, I can't fly now, so let's test it for an example. Oof, I knew it. Oh my god, somehow I managed to glitch it over that. Load up roller coaster V1.05 backup. The reason why I call it backup is because we call it backup. So I'm gonna approximate each location of the roller coaster. like reapproximate the location of those roller coasters, plus do that. So it's minus 130.507 anyway, so what we need to do is copy that down and paste it, and plus we cut, so plus we have to cut it to an exact size previous to the other roller coasters. So it's just about reapproximating. So let's just so I think that what we might have to do is reapproximate like this. Yeah. So everything will be called 9 and it will be like So that was obviously a success, but yikes. Also, this is going to follow as well. Professor seat. My enter. And then we'll now save the build as of all. And plus we'll test the ride for the final time ever. And also might go back to this as well. Plus it's the testing coaster. So let's just watch this thick redesign go by. And yeah, the impaling issue would get fixed anyway, so... So as you can see here, we are just... So as you can just see, I saved the build recently. The ride's now more thinner. Thinner means it's now going better. Better, thinner. So let's test the new roller coaster. For some reason, it got stuck through the... Which is the main issue. So yeah, the roller coaster becomes the best ride in Hammond House history. So as you can see, we got a little safety mechanism. I don't think this exists. So it is a redesign, but it seems like the issue is getting backfired. Just to justify the case. I don't know how that's possible. Safety mechanisms are always. Let's look how fast this thing goes. It backfired. Hi, hi, hi. Oh, I don't know what had the pig back, but guys, the pig's back for some reason. Yeah, you know about the admin pigs? They're back. They've been back for some reason. I remember it not being in the game, but seems like the spring turned into a summer, and now we have the pigs back in the game. And it's probably because they're now doing M&S 3.5.11. And they're just yet, but I didn't remember that was there, but it's back there now, so that Easter egg is really haven't come back. Plus, we're also gonna fix a design flaw. So yeah, a design flaw. Right, the design flaw is the roller coaster. For some reason, it is actually hitting one of those persistent objects that then make the roller coaster hit its own object. I might have to turn a 1-degree angle. Let's just do a 21-degree angle to make sure this ain't flawed anymore. Design refloor. To make the game better. So let's just check if the improvement has been fixed. So let's just check if the redesign refloor has been fixed. So I did do a 2-degree angle increase. So let's see what that increase did. So it's whenever the thing bounces, it keeps hitting that thing. But then, all it does is glitches. And by the way, it is a design flaw bug. So yeah, the roller coaster. I don't think it. I think it is trying to get used to the 5.5 stud thickness. But the only issue is that sizing problem. And also when the car inverts, it would either stop, and that's probably because the angles aren't best. The angles don't get used to it. So because it's now way thinner, it would allow the ride to obviously become better at this task. And yep, it got impaled again. But it's due to a design reflow failure that still always happens. So maybe this major design reflow is obviously because of the angles. Let's see how we're going to get this bug fixed. Because it counts as major redesign refloors. So it keeps reflooring its main design due to the fact the roller coaster. So yeah, I'm moving just a stud off that thing. So it's redesign refloors. Sometimes the ride can get stuck due to a really fast speed. And it's because I set the torque to 110. Still making that issue with a 23-degree angle, by the way. So I've got a good plan for the roller coaster to go. How about I drop the size of this 45-degree angle to make it so then you can make it a 40. So yeah, it is a full 50-degree angle. And I might have to do a 35-degree angle on this. Just watch me. So that's close enough to 35-degree angles. So what's hard in most cases is this roller coaster doesn't go through. But yeah, maybe dropping it to 35 degrees will help this, so... So maybe because this redesign refloor is just the issue. Plus the reason why we're calling it design refloor is because so I'm gonna call it the backup build, so I might just save it as rollercoaster V5 for now, but basically it is technically a V5 by the way. With just major refloors and just repairs, so that means we'll have to contain like another 4 more parts for that thing to go, so by the way, we still have 0 parts, so let's test that design up. No! How the hell did it stop? So now instead of having 297, we have 290. Well, we have 286 to 290, so we just gained like an extra 4 parts over there. Which is insane. Plus the 30 thing thickness. So I'm also just gonna check its other redesign reflows as well. Whilst testing, so I'm just gonna check on all that just to see if any of these make slow. So it exactly matches. No more issue. But here comes another reflow that slows this thing down. We have to match this to match with this, so we have to increase 9630 9630.2 9630.18 9630.17 9630.165. Checking. Seems like this redesign is going down. Minus 9630.16. I keep dropping it, so 9630.15. Now let's test this final redevelopment. So that absolutely worked. But let's just now drop the sides of these cars. So remember we had to drop the thickness. Also, we're gonna resize the thickness. Also, plus I'm gonna re-optimize the build, so let's go on decks and we'll drop the part count down, or aka optimizations. Part has Adonis clickers. And here it goes. Final product, I think. Why is the seats ungrouped, bro? What the fuck am I dragging? Bro, what the hell was I dragging, bro? God. It keeps cloning the red thing, bro. Not the X-fighting scene. Oh my god, this seat has also been in groups too. I don't know what the cause is for this, but... Bro, the seat got ungrouped. Could you not tell us again? This thing just keeps turning up. Turning over, bro. Don't shoot. Turnover attempt. The seats are upside down. I don't know what's creating this issue because it keeps recreating the car, but the seats keep getting inverted or glitched. It's probably because the seats are automatically unanchored by the defaults. And there's no way I'm going to cut down the cars from 4. I need 5. I don't know what the cause happened. But it seems like cars unwelded. Like a main design reflow, bro. Or a bug or a glitch. It turns like to an X. It creates multiple unwelds of the same car. I don't know why there's an invisible seat here. Don't know what the cause is for this, bro. Copy tool nearly glitched. Thought it showed like white then, bro. Yeah, it's still in that group, so... Let's call it V5 for the final time. And we'll test it. It seems to contain a couple more parts for some reason. This is really weird. And then when I delete the car, it's 260 parts. Which is pretty much a light roller coaster, technically. Unless it was an X-Fighting scene glitch. $298 parts for some reason. Which one contains the most or the less? I have to find out. I think this one contains the less. I just don't want it to be like an X-Fighting scene thing. Bro! Something must have fell out of the skin, bro. Seats come falling out, games kept glitching, games kept lagging, all that lot. I had to move the roller coaster now. Let's check how many parts that was. It just kept increasing. It's now 310 for some freaking reason. God, bro. Load up roller coaster V5. A part just fluck. Probably there's no glitches. Alright. Let's just go back on the Explorer and just check how many parts are in the part count. So we have 295. So it seems like there's an extra 5 more parts somewhere inside of the model. And the model... There's model. There's model and model. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I need to delete the few models. There ain't nothing models. And then we'll delete the part. Which part was that? Which one? Let's go back on properties and we'll check together. I don't know why I called that, but I deleted it off the properties. $294 now, by the way. Electric blue, so we not need to delete the electric blue. Which one contained the black index? Bro, which seat had... Which one was that? Delete. Oh my god, bro! What the flip happened to that car, bro? I don't know why it flipped up for some reason. I just dropped it. We're now at 258 parts. Which is an insane all-time low. Then for some reason it keeps welding the one cart to the other cart. Oh my god, bro! I don't know what the cause is for these bugs to occur. It's when I drove back, the cars just seemed to be glitchy. Then don't go back, bro. How many parts is that, bro? Why add more parts? Load up roller coaster V5. Admin pig. Delete the model inside of a backup folder, delete the model as well. We need to delete parts that are not the seat. Black, really black, black. Let's just delete the two really black ones. Just to install part cut downs. $291 now, so final product now at $290. $290. Let's go. We're on 290 parts, which is a few less, but even more. Let's just test this now. Let's test it. What the hell happened here, bro? That never happened to me before. Let's test again. Seemed to have worked this time. No, it keeps literally when it hits it, it just doesn't go at all. What the hell? I've been like recording for like 3 hours, bro. And this issue has never been fixed. That's like my time. That's like half the school already gone. Wasted. From a simple roller coaster development. Final development. Roller coaster. Let's check if it can ride independently. Final development. Done. Plus, there's now a new redesign. So, final time now. Saving it as a roller coaster. That's my last time. Let's just check if anything works first before putting it on the asset library. Driving seat should work perfectly. All of them should work perfectly. Right. That's all I have today. Roller coaster. So plus, let's just do a ride test. For some reason it just got stuck on the first one, which ain't usual. And all the bugs should be fixed, by the way. Plus, it's now thickness dependent, because the ride is now more thinner and more sleeker. It now allows the roller coaster to be like thinner than a obvious thing now. All we have to do is a thickness change, which allows the thick, so it's thicker, thick, but it's thin. Right. Submit asset. Well. Oof. Asset library. Let's call that made the roller coaster tracks thinner. Thinner. Well, that thicker. So then the ride is more better. This is the bestest ride ever. Just press the red button and it will teleport you. This is the best ride ever. This is the best ride ever. Just press the red button and it will teleport you to the roller coaster ride. Remember the tags, bro. Let's hop onto Chrome. Let's just do the tags. Vehicle, ride, fun, car, track. Do you want to submit it to the assetlibrary role? Watch me. Right. Submit it to the assetlibrary, guys. It's been like 3 hours. Let's just check the redesign really quickly. And we'll check if there's any technical bugs with the last person that's on the roller coaster, guys. According to us. I don't know if this will be a bug case or something like that. But I've increased the talk speed to 110. I might just do some more finishing touches to this roller coaster that's coming on the asset library. Because do you think this would be a finishing touch? Well, yeah, but way better rides. Hopefully this update gets approved to the asset library, guys. Right. Let's do some more finishing touches to this roller coaster. So more finishing touches are coming now, so watch me just do finishing touches. So let's just do the finishes touches before this thing goes to the asset library. Such as dropping the I'm also going to make a new command. I'm making also a new roller coaster that will come on the asset library as well. You know what it's called? Roller Coaster Light is coming soon to the asset library. So, final finishing touches. Talk speed is now increased to 100. Which is the last finishing touches. And there should be more coming soon to this roller coaster. Like roller coaster lights coming on the asset library, by the way. So as you can see, the ride should be more better. Because I've decreased the torque speed by 10, so then it can prevent that from happening. But also, I'm going to be lowering the thickness in the next update, which is version 1.06. And then I might do some more in the future with 1.07 inside of a roller coaster. But also, I might be also putting another thing into the asset library as well. Well, it'll be the second item I'm putting onto the asset library. It's going to be called the AFK room. So you know the AFK room, it's going to be like a small room that I'm going to make with transparent walls and all that lot. Just so then you can go in it. But this is absolutely going to be a coming soon thing. Or actually a coming soon item. I might post it to the asset library tonight if I want, but I'm just testing my roller coaster, and then we will, then that's all we're gonna do. But also, I'm also gonna post the AFK room to the asset library, which will be another thing as well, upcoming to the asset library. So that's its upcoming asset, by the way. Plus, this redesign is also reused, so. Well, anyways, that's it. Anyways, like and subscribe, turn on notifications, and we'll see you next time in the next House videos. This will be like a 3 hour, that was like a 3 hour long clip in House, and this took me like 3 hours to complete that new redesign and all that lot. So, hopefully this video gets more views by this time.